Welcome to Australia, welcome to Australian Book Travels, welcome to December and to our Christmas, the beginning of our Christmas celebrations. I have a beautiful snow dome here to help me celebrate. So welcome everyone. There's a lot happening today, so I really will chug along so that I don't take up too much of your time. It is cloudy today. The lighting in here may not be as good as we need or want, but we shall see. It is cloudy. The last few days we have had around about 30 mil of rain, which has been exciting. We're very excited, and it has been a little cooler. Because we hadn't had rain for sorry everyone, Rooney is walking around and he is going to move the camera. No, Rooney. Oh, good boy. Yeah, so we've had really hot weather, and we haven't actually had a really good rain for around about 5 months. So the last few days we've had 30 millimetres of rain, or just over actually. There was the promise that we would have another 40 this coming week, but that has been downgraded to possibly, if we're lucky, 10 millimetres. So, but look, we can't, we really cannot be ungrateful. We needed that 30 mil desperately. We need more, but we have to be grateful for what we get. And, the garden, it doesn't matter how much you water the garden with the hose from the rain tank. It never looks as fresh and as lovely as when it rains. And it is looking better now. In fact, some of the roses have started to bloom again. They had blossomed, and then they went off because it was hot and they all died, and that was the end of the season for the roses. And now they're blooming again. So I'm very happy. Okay, what I have done today, as we get on with it, I have a list of things that I need to tell you before we get into the book recommendations. The first off, I'm cheating. Sorry, everyone. Now, I hope you all have a cup of tea. I have a cup of tea here, a lovely herbal tea, which I'll explain in a minute, actually, what that is all about and where I get my herbal tea from in relation to our Christmas celebrations. But first thing is, the book competition that we had in October, I just wanted to explain to you, a number of you recognised that I hadn't actually been as vocal about the book supplier from England. So I wanted to tell you what happened. We had the book competition. We had 2 people in the Northern Hemisphere who won in the Northern Hemisphere, and we had 2 in the Southern Hemisphere. That one of the people in the Northern Hemisphere, one of the winners was based in the UK, in England, Glenys. Hello, Glenys. Congratulations once again. And we had, before the book competition came about, we organised, there is a bookshop in England that had just started up around about the same time as this channel, and there had been some social media posts from this particular shop literally crying and saying that, they needed people to buy books, and, they'd put their heart and soul and money into this business, and they really needed it to work, and there was all sorts of a hue and cry about it all. So Mark and I decided that we would support this business, and we bought a box of books from England. They were beautiful books, great price for post and all of that. It was wonderful. And so we then thought we would support them a little bit more and ask them to supply a book for the Northern people who won the book competition in the Northern Hemisphere. Unfortunately, we sent a number of, they said yes, they would do that, that would be fantastic, they'd be in on it, and then when we started sending emails, they just didn't respond. And we soon found out that they had been on holiday, and then they went to on another holiday, and they went to a wedding, and they just weren't responding to our emails. I was disappointed. I'll be honest with you, when we support any company or any business, no matter whether it's a bookshop or otherwise, we do expect good customer service. And really, that is the basis of any business. I have been in business before. I had my own business, and customer service is, it is essential. And so I was disappointed. Now, Glenys, who was the winner in the UK, she suggested that there was a lovely bookshop near her that may be able to assist. So I contacted this bookshop, and I'll give you the details in a minute, but I contacted this bookshop late at night here in Australia. Early in the morning here in Australia, which meant it was very late at night in England. I received a response from the owner of the bookshop within about an hour or two. So, and she was at home, but she was responding to emails for the bookshop. I bought the books. She was absolutely chuffed that we were buying from her. I bought the books. I asked her to put in a card, because that was one of the things I was trying to organise with this other bookshop, that they could write a nice card out and perhaps gift wrap the book. She had done that. I paid for the books. I had them gift wrapped or wrapped, and they were all ready to go with a card. And the bookshop supplied some bookmarks. They were all ready by 11 o'clock UK time the next day, ready and waiting for the winner to pick them up. I could not fault the customer service. Every time I emailed, there was a response within the hour, I think. I was absolutely just floored by the wonderful customer service. Now, this bookshop, if you are interested, you can get it online. I ordered the books online. This was Tea Leaves and Read. Catherine is the owner. I will put all of the details in the description box below. I will be buying, for Australian book travels, I will be buying more books from her in the future. And of course, we will hopefully, when we have our book competition next year, I'm hoping to be able to use the services again of Tea Leaves and Read in the UK to supply the winners in the Northern Hemisphere next year. I was absolutely chuffed. I don't think I've ever had such brilliant service from anyone. I was just so chuffed. So that's Tea Leaves and Read. I think Catherine is the person I dealt with, and I think she's the owner. So, and I will put all the details in the description box below. That's that one. The second one is we have the Sneaky Midweeker. I'm hoping to have that uploaded on Wednesday, at the very latest Thursday this week. So today's Monday. It'll be in a couple of days' time. Do keep your eyes out for that if you are interested. I took you to Sydney. There was a book launch of a particular author. As a result, there were a number of other authors there that I met, and I will be giving you more details in the video. So I'm hoping it'll be Wednesday. It's only a couple of days away, but I'm hoping it will be Wednesday or at the latest Thursday. So do keep your eyes out. What I did do, I also took you around the town where the bookshop is. No history is given, nothing like that. It's not like our travel video. I've just walked around the town, and we then went to the book launch. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to let you know is we have decided to have a Christmas Eve video for you all. I think Christmas Eve is on the Tuesday, Christmas being the Wednesday. We will have a book recommendation on the Monday. And then for those of you, we thought that it may be nice, and it really is up to you whether you want to watch or not, but we thought it would be nice for those of you who are on your own at Christmas, for whatever reason, that we could be there with you. And we'll just have a bit of a chat. Maybe there will be a chat about books. It will only be short. It'll be a short video, hopefully, for your benefit and for ours. But we just wanted to spend a little bit of a Christmas Eve and celebrate Christmas with you. We may also have just a very quick Christmas Day video, just a 5-minute to wish you all a Merry Christmas and have a little celebration. On the Christmas Eve video, Mark has promised me that he will be here to celebrate with us, so you will get to meet him. And if you're wanting to ask any questions of him, I recommend you ask the questions in the comments below, and I will take all those comments, and then we can ask Mark in the Christmas Eve video any of your questions. So we thought that may interest you. And also, what else have we got? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I've told you about the book launch video and the book competition. Anything else now is for today's video. So I've listed those and I have delivered. Right. So the first thing I wanted to do was I have to give a huge apology to you, the viewers, to the author and to the publisher. Last week, I presented The Silence of Water by Sharon Booth, and the publishers of Fremantle Press. Now, I think this was published in 2022. I read it 2 weeks ago, the week that I presented it to you. For some reason, I gave you the wrong information, and I really apologise. I don't know how it happened. The only thing that I can suggest, I'm not going to give you excuses. The only thing I can suggest is that at that time I was reading another book that I'm going to present to you that had a different storyline, and that was a little bit of the story that I presented to you in relation to this novel. I cannot give you any other reason or any other excuse. I don't know. I clearly wasn't thinking properly, and this novel deserves acknowledgement, it deserves the respect, it deserves concentration. And last week, for whatever reason, I didn't give it to you and I didn't give it to the novel, and I apologise profusely. That is one of the things with my book recommendation videos. No matter what happens, whether the dogs bark or the geese are honking or the chickens are clucking or something happens in the house, it is a one-take video. I don't edit these apart from the very beginning and the very end, because I want this to be more of a chat. I want it to be more human. I want to be in your living room. I want you to be here in my living room or my library, so that we can have a chat. If I make a mistake, so be it. It's not intentional, but I will always correct myself if I have made a mistake. So I apologise profusely. The Silence of Water is based in Australia. It's an Australian author, Australian story, across 3 timelines. I think it was the mid-1840s, the mid-1840s, the late 1890s, and the early 1900s. I think it's 1906. There is some sadness in this. I still maintain that there is sadness. Be aware of that. If you're not in an overly happy mood, it may be a little sad for you. It is brilliant. It is brilliantly written. It is a little complex. So I still maintain, as I told you last week, it does deserve your full attention for a whole number of reasons. One is because it is complex. There are characters. We go back and forth in those 3 timelines. And it also deserves your attention because it is a brilliant novel. And there is a deep story behind this. Now, it does not have anything to do with war or post-war. I don't know why I said that, or post-traumatic stress syndrome or post-traumatic stress at all, although you could infer that. But anyway, it's got nothing to do with the war. It is to do with imprisonment, but I say no more. I don't want to tell you because otherwise I will be giving the game away. It is absolutely brilliant. That hasn't changed. I loved it. It was thought-provoking. It was It was about compassion, understanding other people, not judging other people, that everyone has a story behind them, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. It is absolutely brilliant, and I recommend it, but I do apologise. I think I hinted that it had something to do with the war, and I don't know why I thought that. As I say, I did read, and I'll show you in a minute, I was reading another book that had the war involved, and I think I was just not concentrating when I was talking to you. And it wasn't until I uploaded the video, and then I thought to myself, hang on a minute, I think I've got that wrong. And I could have taken the video down. I could have done that and re-filmed it, but I just thought, no, I'm going to be honest with you. I made a mistake and I'm going to apologise, and that's that. So there it is, The Silence of Water. I do recommend this. I really recommend it. It's absolutely brilliant. It would be a shame if you miss out on reading it because it's brilliant. Right, that's that. I've apologised to everyone, Fremantle Press, Sharon Booth, and to the novel itself, and to you. I do apologise. Now, very, very quickly, I showed you Darry Fraser's The Night on the Darling River. It is due out this week, everyone. Get yourself a copy. Darry Fraser does not disappoint. She's a brilliant writer. It is an Australian story, Australian author. It is brilliant. Get yourself a copy this week. And Christmas present. This would be a great Christmas present too. Christmas present. In fact, any book is, I'm not going to tell you what or suggest what to buy really at Christmas, because any book and every book, depending on the person you're buying for, if you're buying for yourself even, any book is applicable at Christmas. And although I love reading Christmas novels around Christmas time, I start in November and go through until just after Christmas, I read other novels in between. So it's just that I love that Christmas atmosphere. So I read the novels accordingly. Now, this one, I've shown you the Mitford Secret, not the Mitford Secret, but the Mitford series before. This is by Jessica Fellows. It's English. This one is a hard copy. It does come in paperback. I think this was, let me see when it was published, 2022. So a couple of years ago. This, I bought this and I didn't read it because it is based around Christmas. It is set in Christmas in England in the 1940s. I think it's 1941. Now, this was the novel I was reading when I told you about, I made the mistake about war in The Silence of Water, because this is based around wartime, of course, in England in 1941. It is a story about our protagonist, the novel that in the series, the first one in the series, I recommended quite a few months ago in the book recommendations. This is ongoing. There are about 4 or 5 in the series. I've kept this one for Christmas, so I haven't read them consecutively, as the series goes, because I wanted to read this one at Christmas because it is set in Christmas. We have our protagonist, our main, she's a detective actually. Now she's a detective. The series began where she wasn't a detective. She was actually a nursemaid to the Mitford sisters. This is fiction, by the way. Something I do want to say too, before I forget, The Silence of Water is based on, it's historical fiction, but it's based on very real people. And the author at the end of this does give you the historical notes, so which makes it even more intriguing and just a brilliant novel. So sorry, I just wanted to tell you that I'd forgotten. So the Mitford Secret, we have our protagonist. She goes back to visit them. She's invited back actually with the Mitford sisters and family and others to a mansion in the country at Christmas, and there is a murder. There is also an historical murder that may or may not be linked. This was brilliant. I've just finished reading this. I loved it. I recommend it if you're if you really enjoy England, Christmas, anything about the war. your murder mysteries, interactions with other people, with, you know, that's human psyche. This was really good. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. Now, one that I don't want to talk about right now, because we will go in depth about this a little more, but I do want to present it to you because it is based around Christmas, is Australian author Tess Wood's The Venice Hotel. This is absolutely brilliant. It is based around Christmas. I'm telling you no more than that because we will be doing a book recommendation on it. But it's brilliant. So if you wanted to buy this for Christmas as a gift or for yourself, it is based around Christmas. So if you want to have Christmas reading and you've finished all your Christmas reading already, or you don't have enough books to take you through to Christmas, this is one. But we will discuss that a little more in another book recommendation video. Another one that I'm enjoying reading, this is The Haunting Season, Ghostly Tales for Long Winter Nights. Various authors, various tales, absolutely beautiful. And I'm just trying to get you, there's about 8, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 authors. And they all give you short stories for Christmas or winter. This was first published in 2021 by Sphere. And let me just tell you anything else. No, not sure. Oh, it's Sphere, which is an imprint of Little Brown Book Group in London. Approximately 290 pages. This is really good. One story a night up until Christmas. It's, you know, if you start it 8 days before Christmas, it's really good stories. And, you know, stories that you can read to each other, or you can read at bedtime before you go to sleep. Some of them are a bit spooky, but they're wonderful. They're really good. The classic, Agatha Christie's The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding, another great one. Classic, comfy, cozy mysteries. This also has other stories in it. It's The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding, The Mystery of the Spanish Chest, The Underdog, 4 and 20 Blackbirds, The Dream, and Greenshaw's Folly. I'm reading it because of the Christmas pudding. So that's another one you can get your teeth into. Last year, I told you all about, that's the pamphlet. Last year, I told you all about Maigray's Christmas and Other Stories. This is by Georges Simenon. He is one of my favourite authors and my favourite detective. This was absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's one I read every year, and I recommend it. It's absolutely beautiful. French author, of course, French story. If you haven't read any of Maigret, I recommend them. They're beautiful. They have more than just a detective. It's about relationships and friendships, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love my Maigret. And in each of the Penguin novels, they do give you a pamphlet of, I think the Maigret series there was about 70 odd Maigret books. So, and the pamphlet gives you all of them, and then you can tick them off as you buy them. But definitely this one for Christmas, absolutely brilliant. I showed you a week or so ago The Mistletoe Mystery by Nita Prose. This is not a murder mystery, but it is a mystery. It's a bit of romance. It's absolutely beautiful. It's heartwarming. It's comical. It's absolutely beautiful. Hardcover, a real bargain. One to put in the stocking for family and friends. Absolutely beautiful. The other one is the British Library, Murder After Christmas, by Rupert Latimer. The foreword by Martin Edwards. This is absolutely great. Another one, Christmas, England, snowing, in a mansion, and a relative is murdered and they have to find out who it is. It's comical as well, very funny, witty, and it's a long one. This one is around about, 315 pages, or three a bit more than that, 317 pages. But another great novel. British Crime Library or the British Library of Crime Classics. They never fail. They're really good. Another one that I showed you, I think, the other week, this is Sarah Morgan, The Christmas Cottage. I picked this up because it's Christmas. It is, there is an element of romance in it, but it's more than that. It's about discovering yourself and letting go, finding family and friends in places that you never would have thought. It's beautiful. I enjoyed it far more than what I thought I would. This was a little cheapie that I picked up, and I really am pleased. It's a feel-good book around Christmas. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Now, one I have not read, but I picked up in Sydney whilst I was away. This is An Italian Christmas. There is a series of these. There's a German Christmas and a Scandinavian Christmas. But Mark and I love France and Italy, so I picked up the Italian Christmas. And these are all festive tales based in or written by Italian authors. I can't wait to get into that. That will be my next. And I think it's a number of different short stories by different authors. So I can't wait to get into that. J.K. Rowling, The Christmas Pig, illustrated by Jim Field. This is a hardcover. It has little black and white. Oh gosh, I'm not going to be able to do that now, am I? There are some beautiful black and white illustrations. This is hardcover. Christmas Pig. We have a toy pig who is beloved by his child, by his young one, but Christmas Pig becomes lost on Christmas Eve, and Jack, our friend slash owner slash human, is out to find out what's gone on, because they absolutely adore each other and they need to find each other. It is beautiful. J.K. Rowling, absolutely beautiful writing. We know that from the Harry Potter series, she writes so well, and this is absolutely beautiful. You need to buy this, not just for children, it is for you as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The illustrations are just beautiful, even though they are black and white, but absolutely beautiful. If you get your hands on a copy, please do, because I think, it really does bring about all of that, what Christmas is about, all the Christmas spirit, and just beautiful, just love and friendship and family, and yeah, absolutely beautiful. I loved it. Now, I did show you this one the other week, also Benjamin Stevenson's. I think this is his best so far. Everyone this Christmas has a secret. It was absolutely brilliant, lots of fun, a little bit of humour, not too much. I really warmed to the characters. It was great. Australian author, Australian story, set in Australia. I think it was in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales, but I absolutely loved it, thought it was great, and I recommend that. And of course, each year, I bought this last year, but each year I have a number of different editions of The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens is actually my all-time favourite author. Thank you, Arthur. Good boy. Sorry, he's wanting to get up, I think. Artie. He is my all-time favourite author. If you were to ask me for one, he is definitely my all-time favourite. And we can discuss that another time. There are so many reasons why I love Charles Dickens. I love his Christmas Carol. This one I bought last year from Cracked and Spineless in Tasmania. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you may know I do buy boxes of books from different bookshops around Australia and sometimes overseas, depending on what they offer and the cost and all of that sort of thing. But I find that Cracked and Spineless, Richard does a really good deal on the, as does Abby's bookshop in New South Wales in Sydney. They do really good deals on the post. So it's always worth getting these more unusual books. The illustrations in here are absolutely beautiful. They are by Arthur Rackham, and we know that Arthur Rackham is famous for his beautiful children's illustrations. But this is a linen cover with embossing, the gold embossing, and the silhouette. This is absolutely beautiful and a must-read at Christmas, I think. I read it every Christmas. I love it, in different editions. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you, which I've just put under all the other books, so you may hear a crash of books in a minute. If you've been watching the channel for a while and you know me, you know that the only magazine I buy is Country Style magazine, although that is now purchased for me as a birthday gift from one of my sisters. She renews my membership every year for me for my birthday. A couple of years ago, Mark bought me this as part of a Christmas gift. This is Country Styles Country Gardens in Australia. It is still available. It is absolutely beautiful and I recommend it. If you are, this is Australian, of course. If you are interested in anything to do with Australia, Australian gardens, this is, the photos are just beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. I recommend it. It's a lovely coffee table book. But also it has great text. It has great stories behind some of these gardens. I recommend this because I love my Country Style magazine. I have to recommend this to you. It is still available and as I say, I think it's a great Christmas gift. Absolutely beautiful. One that I haven't shown you before that is still available, this is Bush Life Australian. So for those of you who are with either of these, for those of you who are interested in learning more about Australia, Australian culture, Australian outback, Australian businesses and farming, whether you're overseas or even if you are in Australia and you live in the city and you want to know more about our way of life, or even further than that, in the outback, their way of life, this is the book. There are a number of photographers in this, and I think yes, it's written by Jessica Howard, but the different photographers are Lisa Alexander, Henrietta Attard, Alina Chalker, Camilla French, Lindy Hick, Jessica Howard, Emma Leonard, Georgie Mann, Ellie Morris, and Kate Nelder. This is absolutely beautiful. Jessica Howard in her text gives you all of the, or not all of the detail, but some detail about the photos. That's an aerial view of the stockyards, the sheep stockyards, and the typical Australian ute, the utility. It's really beautiful. If you're wanting to have any information, or you're wanting just realistic life, what it's all about, realistic photos, this is definitely one I recommend. It is a stunning coffee table book with a bit of information attached, and it is all about Australia. It's absolutely beautiful. So that's those two. Now the other thing I wanted to, I didn't light my candle. It was just a little bit warm, but I recommended last year Weyhill and London. These are candles in Australia. They're made in Australia, but you can get them overseas, I believe. This one is Christmas pudding. They have all different scents. I bought this last year, and as you can see, it's really not burnt down at all. But I recommend these because the scents are very much true to what is on the box. This is Christmas pudding, and I can tell you, everyone, I want to eat it because it smells like Christmas pudding. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, but I do recommend as a gift. They're wonderful as a gift. They come obviously with a lid and a beautiful tassel. The glassware you can use again. Once the candle's finished, you can use it again as a little jewellery box, or just to put little knickknacks in, or put a little tea light candle in, and then you get the glow of the coloured glass. They come in different colours for different scents. I recommend them. They're absolutely beautiful and they're Australian. So what more do we want? Now, something that is in Australia but is not Australian, and this is my tea here, which is the Advent Christmas tea, which is this one here. This is a herb and spice place here in Australia, and I'm presuming it's elsewhere in the world, although I will have to check that. This is Gewürzhaus, or Gewürzhaus here in Australia, we pronounce it. They are a beautiful, I believe they have some shops in different shopping centres around Australia, but here in Melbourne, I like to go to the independent shop that is in the Block Arcade in Melbourne. Whenever I go to Melbourne, I always pick up a whole heap of spices from Gewürzhaus. I think I've spoken to you before about the Moroccan mint tea. You can buy, you can scoop out the herb or the spice or the tea and pop them in these little packets if you're only wanting a small amount, or you can buy the pre-packaged glass bottles. But I got here vanilla bean sugar. I buy all sorts. I buy mainly from Gavutus. I buy mixed herbs. They do beautiful Easter herbs and Christmas herbs, Christmas teas, Easter tea. They're really beautiful. You can add, with their spices and things, you can add them in a tea, you can add them in a cake. In fact, you can make a tea and then, for instance, if with this Advent Christmas tea, I make a tea and then I add it a little bit to a Christmas pudding or Christmas cake, just to give it that extra oomph, in place of some of my liquid that I would put in a cake. And of course you could do that with a tea cake or a sponge or anything like that. The mix of herbs and spices that they do are just absolutely brilliant. They have a whole range of mixes. So they have, as I say, things for Easter, indicative of Easter, and the scents of Easter, Christmas particularly, and a whole range of other things, so teas and all that. They're just, and they have, of course, the basics. So they have a beautiful mix of peppers that you grind yourself. We use mortar and pestle and grind their peppers. The taste is extraordinary. It's out of this world. They have black lava salt. They have sea salts. They even do a mix of herbs that you can sprinkle into your salad or on top of your poached egg, or for breakfast or anything like that. They're absolutely beautiful. They also have tea towels, and they have pepper grinders and salt and mortar and pestles, all sorts of things. I may take you in there actually for our Christmas. What I may do is take you in for our Christmas Eve video. That may be something I will do for you, just to show you. But I recommend, if they do sell online, they are available online, but I recommend them. They're absolutely beautiful. And I think one last thing before I go, I bought this year. This is a puzzle advent calendar. I'm going to, it's only 12 days, I think, from memory. Each box, yeah, that's 12 days. And each of these little boxes has a small section of puzzle, which makes up an overall puzzle. And I thought perhaps we would do, this is meant to be the 12 days before Christmas, so perhaps next book recommendation we can start together doing the puzzle and see what it gives us. So I thought that would be a bit of fun for the channel, and a bit of fun for us, because I do love puzzles. I'm a big one for puzzles when I have nothing else to do. And also I just want to let you know, I received from overseas, from my pen pal, a stocking full of gifts. And I'm not allowed to open them until Christmas, although I was allowed to open the envelope in order to expose my beautiful Christmas stocking. So thank you, Anna Marita. I absolutely love it, and I will be using that stocking forevermore. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, everyone, I think I've given a lowdown. I hope this isn't too long. It probably will be. I will have this up and loaded for later today. Or maybe I can try and do it early. But anyway, I will have it up for today. Oh gosh, everyone, that's the third time I've had a hair on the third video with a hair. Something's going wrong. Okay, I hope those books inspire you for Christmas reading or Christmas gifts. These two particularly are beautiful as coffee table books. And I hope that you're all getting into the Christmas spirit. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that. I'll just flick the camera around. We have started our Christmas tree. Over time, that will become more decorated. But we've just started a little bit of decoration and decorating around the house. So until our next video, we've got the book launch video and Sydney video on Wednesday. I will see you for that, hopefully. Travel video, and then of course our next book recommendation. Don't forget our Christmas videos that we will, but I'll keep reminding you about that. Oh, there is one more thing. I do have a number of books that I have either doubled up on or, I've doubled up on them somehow. Either they've been given to me as a gift and I've already had them and I've already read them, or I've just bought them because they were on special. But I do have a number of books that I may just give away. I know there was one of you, I think it may have been Joe Petal. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but do let me know. For the grandest bookshop in the world, I did find a hard copy, and I know one of you wanted the paperback version. Now, what I will do is I will give these books away to you all. I'll probably offer them at Christmas, on Christmas Eve, but I will ask you to pay for post. So be aware of that. If I'm giving the books away, that's fine, but I will ask you to pay post. And we have got a deal now with Australia Post. They're giving us a discount for our parcels. So we will now pass that on to you, that little discount, whatever that is. So that's it, everyone. Do stay safe and happy reading for the week. I hope to see you on Wednesday. That would be great. But until then, happy reading, safe travels, take care, have a lovely cup of tea, enjoy the Christmas spirit. We're now into it. It's the 2nd of December. It's so exciting. I'm so excited. We may do some cooking in the future, but we'll see. I have a lot planned, so we'll discuss that in another video. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye for now.